It's difficult, isn't it, to know how a law can possibly survive when such a high-profile individual as JK Rowling is pitted so firmly against it. She invited Police Scotland to come and arrest her, and now that Police Scotland have dismissed the various reports against her and have dismissed her invitation, she's now said that the country should be careful about applying this sort of law. Well, of course it should. If a law cannot be applied, and if a law has received so many complaints, so many people have put in complaints about individuals in respect of this law, it's going to keep the police so busy they're not going to be able to do any serious work. About apparently 3,800 cases have now been lodged in the last 24 hours. This is madness. And meanwhile, JK Rowling has said that she hopes every woman in Scotland will be reassured by the force's announcement that her stance that trans women are really men was not criminal. My own instinct on that particular issue is that we should be kind, and if somebody wishes to identify in a particular way, then that is the way we refer to them, and that is how we call them. I think if you have a title before your name or some sort of suffix after your name, it's only polite to acknowledge that and use it. If you want to do a sort of Tony Blair, call me Tony, it's only polite to do that. And it's rude if you then start referring to him as Mr. Blair or Prime Minister when he's asked you to call him Tony. I think we recognise what people wish. That's polite. It's also kind. And the Hate Crime and Public Order Scotland Act, which came into force, ironically, on April Fool's Day, is an invitation to chaos and to submerging the state in paperwork. As for the J.K. Rowling thing, I'm afraid when an author has produced so many formulaic books as the Harry Potter books, there's not much more that she can do if she can't find another formula. And so far, she hasn't managed to find another formula. The first of the Fantastic Beasts films was a delight. The second two were incomprehensible, rather like some of the later versions of the Harry Potter films, and certainly the later versions of the Harry Potter books. Book 3 is a great book. The rest, I can quite frankly live without. And when I compare the Harry Potter books to, for example, the Narnia books of C.S. Lewis, Silver Chair being filmed shortly, Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, spectacular, The Last Battle, so brilliant, The Magician's Nephew, one of my favourite books still, and Prince Caspian, Dawn Treader, superb. I don't think J.K. Rowling has a patch on that consistent production of brilliance. And short books, they're not long. And J.R.R. Tolkien, 2 books of unbelievable stature, The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. Faultless and readable, rereadable. As for the other great children's literature, Winnie the Pooh, Wind in the Willows, these are great works of art, and they merit being reread when you are older. They are full of richness. I can't say the same about Mary Poppins, but I can certainly say the same about the Dr. Dolittle books, which are enchanting. And I'm sure you have your own your own suggestions. I read JKRowling's books when they came out. I found a great romp. But in the end, I think rather like the Hanny books by John Buchan, there's only one worth reading. And the rest are preserved because actually the films are for the most part better than the books. But I'm not sure that last story could be redeemed in any way at all. Sprawling, endless, and in so much need of a good edit, both cinematically and as a piece of literature.